Hi, welcome to our neck
Hello.
of the woods.
Oh, good Sunday afternoon.
I think we're going to do Sunday as a time for gathering.
Just the time to
Hi,
sit,
Betty.
chit chat,
How's
relax.
Lila doing, honey?
Have just
Hopefully
chat.
she's mending. Hopefully she's mending. Praying for her. All right, you guys. So,
Here we go.
I told you the other day that I got to order some paints. They came today of all days. Strange. I wasn't supposed to get them till tomorrow.
Yeah, FedEx on a Sunday.
So, here's my boxes. I have patiently waited to not rip into them because I am like a little kid at Christmas when I get new paint. So, I'm going to go ahead and rip into them, guys. Good, Betty. I'm so happy to hear that. So happy to hear that. We got an email from one of our beloved family here in our small little neck of the woods, and she wasn't getting the notifications, the email notifications when we were coming on, and she wasn't getting the YouTube notifications, and she was worried that she had gotten blocked. If you guys are not seeing us, it's not because we blocked you. We would never block any of you. We love you guys, and we want this to be a platform where you feel comfortable just coming on, either chatting with folks or coming up and chatting. Either way, we just want this to be, getting together and just talking. Oh, I know, Dick Blick, right? Love these guys. These are the only people I buy art supplies from. And you can find some stuff cheaper, but it's also cheaper quality. You can find some stuff that'll get to you quicker. I doubt it. But Dick Blick has the best customer service I have ever seen. And I have been using Dick Blick for my entire painting career.
20 plus years.
I think I've always used Dick Blick. I've ordered from one other place one time, and I swore I'd never do it again. The paints, the pigments were terrible. Things that were supposed to be opaque were not. Things that were supposed to be translucent were not. And they were just terrible. But yeah, Dick Blick, and this is not a paid promotion, but they are my favorite brand to buy all my stuff from, because I know no matter what, if something's wrong with my shipment, they will not hesitate to fix it, and fix it fast. And I love them. So there's my Dick Blick plug. All right, so I'm gonna open up this first box, you guys, because I am just dying to open this up. Even though I know everything I ordered, but it's still fun. It's like Christmas in August. Or did I do it?
I don't know. We got flaps anyhow, so make it where it's easier for a show. There we go.
Invoices. Oh,
Look it over, maybe.
that's if I need to return anything.
Yep, return, yeah.
Yeah, these guys are awesome. I love them, and I haven't gotten a nice order from them in a long time. So this is fun for me because some of my paints ended up. Yeah, it's been 3 years since I've ordered paints, but I'll show you why it was that long. So I got me some brushes, just a cheap little pack of multi brushes, and so these are Raina's and mine. That's how I work that, guys. That's just the way to do it.
And then Mom gets the good ones.
I know, Betty. It was so hard for me not to rip open them. But I was like, no, I'm going to do this on the show for these guys. It's Sunday afternoon. Who doesn't want to see art supplies, Somebody out there doesn't want to, but I don't care. I'm excited. So, because Raina and I are going to start painting together and doing shows where we paint together. So I got us some canvas panels. So these are just a 11 by 14. And they have sales on right now. Right now on their canvas panels, on some of their paints, and several other things. So yeah, I got a couple. I think these were $5, and this is a pack of. Oh, this is a pack of 5. No, I think this was like $3. They're very reasonable, and I like the Dick Blick brand too. I like their acrylics, their student, and their studio. But there is a difference, and so I usually buy the student acrylics, and I buy them because they work so well for a multitude of surfaces, and I can use them on just about anything. And I don't have any problems with them on my slates or anything, you know. So I usually end up buying the student acrylics for my acrylics, and then I have oils. I have a lot of oils now. Blick they do have a nice oil set. Their studio oil set is actually pretty nice. You won't get any complaints out of me. I do plan on doing an oil painting soon. As soon as the weather can break, because the humidity, my painting will never dry, and then I'll never get to progress on it. So, hey, working.
Oh, working.
And so right now I just can't oil paint because it'll never dry. It just won't. We have too much humidity in the air right here, and it's rained so much this summer. So then I did a one for me, one for Raina. I'm trying to get her to use the palette the proper way. And if she doesn't want to, that's fine. One for acrylic, one for oil. Not a big deal. I do have other palettes, but
she needed some new ones.
Yeah, and we did. And I had to get myself some new fan brushes because I killed my last fan brushes on a concrete building. I painted a concrete building side up in Millersburg on the town square.
The county flag.
And I literally ate through brushes on that project. Yeah, that was a project. I used road paint so it won't fade. So you got to know some tricks if you're going to do it, and you want to do it where you can keep the cost down for the customer and for yourself. And that's one of the tricks. If you do outdoor paintings on buildings or whatnot, you need to find the colors that will not fade. And a lot of times, road paint has a variety of colors, and so you can use certain types of road paint. And I know a guy that does house painting, and he does all kinds of commercial painting, and he will use his contractor discount for me for certain projects if I talk to him. So he's a really good guy. I did their company logo on the side of their building, and it was a 8-foot tall screaming gorilla head coming out of a paint can. But the name of their company is Gorilla Painting. So if you're ever in the area and need your house washed or painted or rooms fixed up, call Gorilla Painting because they're good people. Okay. Bum, bum, bum.
1, 2, 4, 6, 8.
We have 8 adventures right here in this pack, you guys. 8 adventures. I actually prefer working on like a 24 by 20 or a 24 by 18 canvas, or I like the bigger canvases for certain things. But in case I can actually sell some paintings, these will be easier to ship. So that's why we went with that size. And I think a lot of people prefer that size. Got my best ever brush cleaning and conditioning. If you guys aren't familiar with this stuff rocks. It lasts so long as you take care of it, it'll last forever. I mean, it really does. It's pretty good. And it's a brush cleaner and preserver, and I've used it on the worst case scenario brushes, and it's done a whole bunch of good for me. And I've got myself, I didn't spend money on the real detail brushes, but I got me a 0 and a 2, and you know, I got a small set there, so I can work with that. I mean, I learned how to really just be able to work with different things on a budget, you know, and part of that is, you know, when you go and you invest in brushes, and they are an investment, but they have to be replenished. And so that's the thing. Yeah, Meg understands. You got me, don't you, Meg? And then, of course, 2 palette knives. They're not great. This one looks like a mold defect.
Yeah.
But I'll still be able to roll paint on that, so I'm not worried about it. Because I got it to. I'm going to teach Raina how to roll paint, and you know, some of the Bob Ross techniques, and it just kind of helped her feel like she is making more progress in that theater of her life, because she gets stagnant, but she's very talented, and we're very proud of her. But she gets frustrated because she wants to do so much.
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling when I was a kid trying to create things, and I wanted them to look a certain way, and they didn't look a certain way. All right, I'll get to the paints. Give me a second, guys. All right. So that was all my hardware. Put that in there for now. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Should never cut a blick box. Tip number 1.
I didn't cut a big box.
Never use a knife on a blick box.
I didn't use it. All right.
Yep. All right.
We'll get that packed in there.
Titanium white, like titanium day. Sorry. Phthalo green, which I love. I love the phthalos. They're kind of key components in a lot of my stuff that I do. I like the phthalo blue and the phthalo green. I do have ultramarine to mix. I still have magenta to mix, so I didn't buy those. I bought my siennas because, of course, I do a lot of landscape type of stuff. So that's what you're going to see is a lot of just primary and some secondary that I really like. Raw sienna and burnt sienna. I can make similar, but not the same as those colors, and I really love the feel of those in my work. Bottle blockout, because everybody should have blockout white. And yes, it is different than titanium white. Mars black. Chrome yellow. I don't use primary yellow. I use chrome yellow. I like the pigment in it better. And because they are student acrylics, the pigments are a little bit different, and the viscosity is different than the studio. The student acrylics are different in viscosity, and some of them in pigment, than the student ones. Did I say that right?
Studio.
Studio and student, they're different. And I got, oh, I guess I did grab a quart of magenta. So, never hurts, right? And it's actually, it's not the magenta you guys think of, all right? When you're dealing with paint, magenta is a mixing color, almost like a primary red. The problem is, most primary reds are transparent, right? They're like ultramarine blue. It's transparent. And you can use it to mix, but you're going to get really watery colors. You're not going to get any kind of boldness. So magenta as your red for mixing, when you're mixing these paints specifically, and either a cobalt blue or Prussian blue or a phthalo blue. Hey, Tracy, for mixing your blues, if you want to get, you know, a nice, rich, bold And I do prefer the phthalos. They are a bit darker. That's phthalo blue right there, and it is spelled PHTHAAALO. Phthalo. It's close to a Prussian blue. It's not quite as dark, but it is just as rich and vibrant. And so that is my favorite mixing blue. In the last 20 years, I probably went through 5 half-gallons of phthalo blue, whereas ultramarine blue, I think I've had 2 quarts in the last 20 years. It could be more than that. I used to do a lot of big projects. Not much call for that right now, but you know, I really want to paint the world. I would love to just come paint people's places and just like travel around and do murals in people's houses and stuff. Like, how great would that be? Right?
Exactly. Bob Ross.
So, yeah, that's how I buy my paints. I mean, I got my primaries and I got a block out and I've got a black, and I like the Mars black versus some of the other blacks. And I have to have my raw sienna and my burnt sienna because I can make my chrome yellow look like this, and I can make red and black and green look like this. Very close, but not exact. But the problem with that is then I use up all my mixing colors that I need for other things. So it's better with the amount of these 2 colors that I use for me to go ahead and just buy the half-gallon because they never go bad on me. I use them up too quick.
Hey, Nathan.
In my paintings. So there was my art boxes, guys. I know it didn't seem too exciting, but it was so exciting for me. Like, I can't wait to crack the seals on these babies and get going, you know. And I am going to do a painting show soon, though. Even if I just do an acrylic, I asked Ken if I could play his music in the background, just paint to his music, you know. So he's not offended by that idea, and I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. He said he would give me permission, but even if not, I'm willing to take the copyright strike on that, just because I think that would be a really fun way to promote him and to also, you know, just do my thing. So tell me what you guys think about that, and would you hang out for a Rain Paint Studios bid? We'll try to figure out how to put you over my shoulder.
Yeah, we have we'll be able to figure something out. That's for sure.
But anyway, there's my paint. Yay!
Bring it up here.
Got new paint and brushes.
Been working on it too. There's the color. I'm gonna bring it back out. Let's check see if I can bring us out of here for a second.
Oh my goodness. I think we're going to do playlist on this one, right? A Rain Paint Studios playlist.
The Rain Paint Studios will be underneath of its own playlist, as well as once we get everything set up the way we have it in YouTube. Our normal show will be just normal uploaded, and then Rain Paint Studios will have the art and whatnot. I'm not too sure how I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna do like the arts and crafts, like well, I'm thinking stained glass gonna be by itself yet, and then the rest of the arts and crafts for the woodworking and everything will be underneath with another channel. It'll be like maybe 4 different playlists, but they'll be individualized for those certain things.
Yeah, so if you want to see the sawmill stuff and not have to deal with the rest of it, you can go in and look at that.
All sawmill stuff, putting furniture together, and art will be her Rain Paint Studios, and I'm thinking our stained glass we're going to do as a stained glass because we can't really say you can't mix it together, but
you could put it under Rain Paint Studios.
You can do that too if you want to. We could have that under there, stained glass in there. Yeah, we'll see how it all works out. Stained glass and art, you know, because it's kind of a craft.
Did you post the link already? Anybody want to come up and chat?
I'll post the link. I promise.
Oh, we got new comments.
10 people.
Hold on, guys.
Gotta get back. Gotta get back.
Hey, Farmer.
Maria retired. Farmer's
Maria.
son.
Maria.
Tracy and work in progress. Okay.
Hobbit, if you're
Betty.
out there. Hi, Hobbit.
Kathy. Howdy. Oh. Everybody, hello.
Oh, thanks, Tracy. I know, Camel. A lot of people don't understand that, but I tell you, it really does. The darkest times produce the most beautiful things, the greatest art. That's absolutely right.
At least I thought.
And I think we're a little bit moving into that again. And when we joined Ken earlier today, and he brought that up, and I thought that was a really, really good point. Is that they're going to come for the artists. They're going to come for the people who write music. They're going to come for the people who paint and develop these beautiful things that we see everywhere. And they're going to come for them because that's how they steal their joy. That's how they steal everyone else's joy. Because you can convey more than one concept, more than one idea, and more than one feeling in a work of art. And it doesn't matter, what you interpret, the person standing next to you can interpret differently. And that's the beauty of art is that it hits everybody in a different way. The artist may mean one thing, but you pick up on something else. And so I think that's what makes it so amazing, and so time honored. I mean, look, we still devote history sections to Da Vinci and Van Gogh and Michelangelo, and if you guys didn't know, Michelangelo was the whole deal, just like Da Vinci. Those two were. Da Vinci was more on the inventive and how things work side, and super talented with painting and many other facets of art. But Michelangelo was a poet, a sculptor, a painter. So he had the linguistic side, and I'm telling you what, I couldn't name one single work of either of those two that moved me independent of the other works, because once you start seeing all the different things that they do and you see the bigger picture of who they were in that time frame, it just blows you away. I mean, blows you away. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, Maria. Hey Liz, it's Grizz. I know your name's Lee, but Monty. So, does anybody wanna pop up with us today? It's just Sunday afternoon. We didn't really plan a whole lot because it's Sunday, and you try to keep it mellow on a Sunday, just kind of hanging out and enjoying each other's company and the community that we're building here. So, if anybody wants to, yeah, I started. You see here, the husband's not covering it anymore. I made him run out and get me my little spice jars, and so I was working on that all morning, and I ended up with alum on my tongue, turmeric in my nose, and garlic all in my face, and it was just a little bit too much, and I started sneezing everywhere, so I had to stop putting my spices away, because once I got into the powdered stuff, it was a bit much on me. But I got quite a bit of them done. I do have some more that I've got to get stocked away. But living in the woods, I can't leave them in the little plastic containers because mice will break into my house like little thieves in the night. And Pillow, he's not a hunter. And Honey Bun is very much a hunter, but I don't know if she thinks they're pets because, you know, when she finds them inside or whatnot, but she doesn't hunt the ones in that house, only the ones outside the house. um, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I love them both anyway. So, and Dash hunts little grass rats out there outside. He hunts chippermunks. Um, yeah, I don't understand, but oh, what's this? Is this your Camo has started his channel, you guys. Camo Carl has started his channel. If you guys don't mind, head on over his way and give him a sub and check out what he does. He has got an amazing skill set, just a very well-rounded, amazing skill set, and I can't wait to see what he puts out. Honestly, Camo, I'm very excited about you starting your channel. Very interested in all the different hunting gear stuff that you make, as well as the other stuff, and just your knowledge base. It's just so amazing. Oh, that's for the storm. Yeah, Trace. Craig has been trying to do little updates, and I know it's getting ready to hit there. So, oh, Tracy, get a terrier. Terriers used to hunt those things all the time. Terriers are good little hunting. Oh, good. Yeah, and if you guys want to pop in here, if you guys are checking on that stuff, hey, Don Light, Becca. All right, we'll see you later, Becca. Yeah, everybody kind of, you know, we're keeping everybody in our prayers. Honestly, we were already getting storms, and we're in Northeast Ohio. And so it's pushing up the little storm fronts that were in front of it. And we had a heck of a storm right over us a little while ago. So I expect more today. Oh, there we go. So yeah, just you know, you can continuously pray in your heart while you're doing other things, and I don't mean that in any kind of a bad way or anything, but you can, and it's simply focusing your attention, you know, and keeping your mind on those things that you want to pray for. So yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, we guys support each other, right? So this is how we do it, a little bit at a time. Um, uh, yes, Maria. There is a planned trucker strike. I know there's one in Australia for the next couple days, and I know there is one planned in the United States, but I don't know the date of it. There's several things going on, and they all start in September. The earliest date I've heard is the 3rd. The second earliest date I've heard is the 7th. And there are multiple areas that are talking about, you know, shutting down. So, yeah, just be prepared. Have water put back. And it's about Americans standing up and saying, you know, we're going to hit them where it hurts. So do your best and don't freak out, because oh yeah, Camo, I bet you do. You know, I see the value in them shutting everything down. And if we can get the word out to people so that they are a little bit more prepared, if they don't have some kind of preparation after the year that we have all been through around the world, then I don't know. I don't know where they've been or where their head's at. And I'm not talking you have to have beans and rice put up for the next 6 months. I'm saying you should have a week or 2 weeks at least minimum worth of food put up for every member of your household. Or know how to stretch the food that you have and make it last longer. Learn how to stretch it and make it into meals. Hi, Dana. I just got to unwrap paints. You missed it. Yeah, Dana's my friend from way back when. Okay, I hadn't heard that about Dollar General. Dollar General is also part of Family Dollar. It's the same company that owns both. I would look a little bit deeper into things like that before I took someone's word, just because I'm that type that I like to verify things a little bit better. 20 years? I think we go back further than that, don't we? Oh, no, I guess it is about 20. My, how time flies. Grab me some coffee too, will you, Monty? I'll be back. Yeah, Betty, I'm kind of with you. I don't think they are either. Maria, I don't know. I would look into that. I'm really thinking that Dollar General is not a patriotic company. That being said, I guess it's still better than Wally World, but we all have our choices that we have to make and our decisions based on our circumstances and our environment. That being said, do what you got to do. Take care of what you need to take care of. And don't let anybody sway you from what you need to take care of first. And then, you know. Oh, nice, Dana. Hey, Sue. Alexis. Farmer's Son. Anybody that we missed out there, we love you. Hello. So, yeah. Does anyone want to come up? Liz makes the rounds, I tell you. I'll post this one more time here, and I'll probably post it more than one more time, but yeah, they're really not a great company. Like they'll push it right to the limit, so they don't have to pay you full-time wage or give you insurance for full-time work, but they'll push it right up to that last minute on the hourly requirement. I don't know. They're better than Wally World. I'll give them that. As far as if you have to run in and pick stuff up, I guess. And they're everywhere. They're in every area, low income area they're in, and they're even in high end income areas now. So I don't know. Probably something I'd look into. I really don't. I don't know that I'd call them a patriotic company. My store is definitely patriotic. It's run by that pillow guy. I get around. I get around. Oh.
Hey, Dad.
So what do you guys want to talk about? Pick a subject. I'm game. Because I can't paint today. It's still storming. Well, I mean, I can, but I'm not set up for it. Oh, man. Farmer's Son, you should just sell your produce and start your own store. Just don't do it in a building. That way they can't rip you on that. Yeah, no, I understand, Maria. That's why I said, do what you got to do. Publix, you must be down south. I used to work for Publix when I lived in Florida. And there are a lot of these homestead people on YouTube. They make clothes and all kinds of stuff and sell them. I think Rain Country, she's one. She does clothing and stuff. I'm not sure what she charges. I don't know about that. Target's evil, you guys. Target's, I wouldn't go. Listen, Maria, you remember when they talked about the children's books that were kind of sexually explicit? Like, children should not be having these concepts. Those were all being sold at Target and endorsed by Target. So that's just your. Yeah, Dana, I would love if you would come and interview with us and talk to us about your successful online business so that some of us who are interested might learn some more. Yeah. Yep. And that's, we try to keep it, we try to shop local and shop smaller stores, which in my area, it's so small that we know every owner of each of the stores, you know, so everybody knows everybody. And if you don't, you know of them. Right on, Maria. Right on, Betty. Yeah, they are definitely evil. And don't take my word for it. Go research it. By all means. And if you need help, yeah, Dana, please do. I bet everybody would love to hear that conversation. I know I really want to know more about it. So even if you just want to call me and talk to me about it, that's fine too. But yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed our shopping trip to the Amish store. We're going to take you to the Amish butcher that we use tomorrow. Okay, and show you guys around our little butcher shop that we have. And I'm going to try to not get anybody's faces because I try to be respectful of the Amish. They're not real uptight around in this area, but it's still, I just feel it's respectful to not, you know, flash everybody's face on the screen. So you'll probably just get a lot of meats and stuff in your view, in your purview. And I'll show you around the shop and how they do things there. And all the butchers in the back are women, by the way. So, yeah, you know what? I would love to take you guys and just all go down to one of those stores like that and just like, you know, go hog wild. This they're so much fun for me, and they remind me of the stores when you were a kid, where you could like pick up the bag and put and like scoop how much flour you wanted in there and weigh it out. I love those old timey stores. We have a smaller version of the same store down in Kilbuck in the village closest to us, and they still have the wooden floors. I love that store. It used to be an IGA, and then the whole town comes together every time that store's been in a crisis and saves the store. But it doesn't. It didn't survive the last hit it took for the lockdowns and whatnot. So he sold to another local bunch that do the bulk Amish goods like the store we took you in, and so it's like a mini version of that, and it's really cool though. It's still got the creaky wood floors and stuff, and I love that. I love creaky wood floors in a store. But I grew up in a really small town, and they had the old stores that had the creaky wooden floors and whatnot. Yeah, Hasbro, and also there's another one, Dana, another toy company. Yeah, I mean, as parents, we just have to we have to be on the ball. We have to get on the ball and be on the ball. Hi, Bonnie. Good to see you. RDS. What? Bridget? Bridget, aren't you the one that came up with the yellow ribbon idea the other day? I could not remember your last name. Thank you for that idea. I've been spreading that idea everywhere I can. Oh, that is sad. Oh, cool. All right. So Robert David Steele has passed, or did somebody mistakenly let out an obit that they wrote up in case? Which one? Which one is it? If he's passed, then prayers for a fallen soldier. I don't know. I was never partial to him, but oh my gosh. Oh, my prayers go out to his family, to his wife, to his children, to his friends. Wow. Thank you guys for letting me know, Tracy and Bridget. Thank you so much. That's because they put him on a ventilator. Those ventilators are killing folks left and right. Oh, I mean, that can be a good thing, Meg, right? That can be a good thing. The last time I saw my mom passed when I was 22, right before I turned 22. And she came to me in a dream a couple years later. And it wasn't a few days after that that things started turning around for me in my personal life. So even though my mom and I didn't get along so hot on the physical plane, there was nothing but love in my dream. So oh, that's awesome, Betty. Yeah, we want to take a moment. I know nobody's up here, but let's take a moment of silence for Robert David Steele and send our love and our prayers out to his family. When we do that for a second. All right. Oh, that's awesome, Meg. Yeah. Yep, that's blessings. So I can keep just reading the chat and responding to you guys in chat, or somebody could pop one up here if you'd like. Should I? I'll post it one more time.
Come on,
I keep
guys,
saying one more
up,
time every
up,
time. I should stop doing that. Oh yeah, I bet.
Get into the dig.
I bet he is.
Join us for a coffee.
You know, those people that are in that group that have tried to put the truth out there, and you know, my respect to all of them, because
it's not easy, that's for sure.
I know some people give out disinformation. Some people give out what they call hopium. Some people. Hi, Bunny. Some people are just misinformed. But you know, it is on all of us individually not to follow any one person. Hey, Monty. But to look into these things ourselves and use our own discernment too. You know, so Well, that's true, Bridget. Um, right on, Kim. Good Sunday afternoon.
How are y'all doing today?
Not bad. Enjoying the, well, it just got done raining, but it was beautiful this morning. It's all sunshine and
I got paint.
I saw that.
Nothing
I
can
was
take my
kind of
joy. I got
watching
paint
while we were
today.
driving, but yay.
Sounds
Hello?
pretty windy down there. Hey, Monty.
Hola, ¿cómo
Here.
está?
Bien, bien. ¿Y tú?
Malo. So I went to go get coffee, no coffee. I'm like, what
Oh,
the?
no. You better go
Travis,
find some. You got to have
between
coffee,
Travis,
man.
between staying up to make sure Travis and Mike make it home on their trips, it's getting to me.
I bet.
I love them. I love all this family.
Yep. So do we.
Oh, I think Travis had like I lost count of how many train wrecks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
yeah, that's what makes it show fun.
I even kicked my own self out over on that show multiple times and come right back in.
Thank you, Tracy.
I didn't go to Travis last night.
What's
Hi,
that?
Tracy.
I went to Charlie's new channel to help him out. Charlie Keeling.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah,
that
we
his
were
name?
over there with you
Yep.
for a little
That's
bit.
right.
Yeah, we just can't hang that late anymore. With Raina, she gets up early, and then it's like dragging all day long.
I think I left not too long after y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's
he
for the
was bored.
late nighters. So on those nights, Monty, when you found the coffee and now you can't sleep and everybody else is gone, you can pop over to Charlie Keeling.
Yeah, he's bored because he's working the graveyard shift now, and he just has to just sit there.
Yes,
Don't
Liz.
blame him.
I mean, yes, Grizz.
I think it's a great idea. You know,
But they have to prove it.
sit there and just why not talk to people all night? You know, leave it up and
Right.
run, and hey, I'll be back. I gotta go make a round, or I gotta go do something real quick, or you know, hold on a minute, I gotta take a call.
It's not a felony if you have the right amount of money and you have the right people to forge the paperwork. It's not a felony.
Here's the other thing, Monty, is that that is not the felony itself. The felony comes from if your family's collected any insurance money or any of that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, or you get
That's
caught.
where the felony comes in. It doesn't even come in from the actual faking of the debt.
No.
Hey, Chuck.
It's just horrible for people. You're mourning someone, and then it was a joke. That's not a joke.
No, because it does. It causes a lot of people. You know, grief is no fickle thing to just fly by night. You know, grief can do as much damage as any other trauma.
Yeah.
So,
who is the gentleman? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Who is the gentleman that y'all are talking about that passed?
Robert David Steele. He was part of Scott McKay rather was part of his group and then broke away from his group, and he was doing a tour to unite America. And he had the constitutional sheriff Mack was in his tour group, and several other people. That Lee Dundas and Dr. Tenpenny was there originally. So a lot a lot of things were at play with him.
He was also used to be
He
a
passed
justice.
last night, Chuck.
He was a judge.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He used to be a judge.
Yeah.
Yep. Judge, and also
He was a CIA.
CIA too.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'd never.
Former.
So
Me personally,
did
sorry for
anyone-
Rob, sorry for everything, but I don't trust him. Didn't trust him.
So did anyone see that the two frogs was together last night?
No.
Yeah, yeah. And they also prayed for Craig the hunter.
Oh, right on.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yep.
Good. Maybe, I don't agree with everything those two put out. I think they speak a lot before they verify. But at the same time, I'm not going to fault either one of them, because it is you who listen, your job to personally verify some of those things before you, move forward with repeating them. And I know people, lies are hurting folks and stuff, but folks, stop following man. Right?
Yeah.
You got, and you have to do some of your own research, and you have to use discernment. And if you can't get those skills up, then anybody can tell you anything, and you're going to believe it. So those are vital, in my opinion.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah, Bellstar. I think Doug was hanging out with. I don't know. From what I gathered, he was hanging out with the wrong person.
Well, maybe he'll get himself back on track.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I heard that rumor too, Bell. About Scott McKay's dad. About that being a caused event.
I had heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good, Meg.
From it.
Listen, you guys are always welcome to post information here, okay?
Oh yeah.
Like I said, if and I'm not going to argue about it or let people argue about it, because there's no sense in arguing about it. Do your own research. Anybody can say anything, right? That doesn't mean you have to believe it. We teach our daughter that, right? Somebody can call you any name they want to. That doesn't make you that. I can call you a caterpillar. Does it make you a caterpillar? No, it doesn't. So, we got to keep the simple things in mind, right? Yeah, Scott, he did imply it. And, I understand. And he's Patriot Street Fighter brand, and he's all this and that. And so people don't know what to think or not think about that. But I feel like they killed my dad. He went in, he had eye surgery done, finally got his eyes done. He was so happy he could actually see for the first time without bottle cap glasses. And he had a twitch in one of his eyes that he'd had surgery done. And he went in to get it checked.
From that point forward?
And they put him in a room next to a COVID virus positive patient. And my dad never came home. So
that's terrible, Heather.
From getting his eyes checked. So that's yeah, I feel like they did my dad in too, and I do feel that way. Sorry.
Agree, Tracy.
So you're allowed to feel how you feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling how you feel. For anybody, right? And even for Scott.
I still don't know what happened in Pennsylvania. All I know is that's when they initially got sick.
And it was an entire group. The entire group got sick, very sick.
I'd already stopped watching them at that time.
Yeah, so did I. I don't mean him any ill, but I had to pull myself away from the
drama, right? Basically,
the drama of it. Yeah, I don't do drama. I didn't do drama in high school. I'm not about to start it now in my late 40s.
We put all the way around. We didn't pay attention to your side.
Hey, I got a question.
All right, I got an answer.
How many emojis are you allowing in your channel?
I mean, don't spam the emoji bar. Keep it reasonable. If you guys want to keep it at 3 like you're used to on other channels, that's fine by me. We don't need 5 lines of emojis. That just,
we're not going 10 and 20.
You know,
yeah.
I don't speak hieroglyphs, okay?
Yep.
No problem. No, I just want to know because I'd seen some people put in 5 or 6. So.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a couple, use your judgment, Monty. I trust your judgment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
just the same. Give them a warning. Say hey, and
whether these attacks, whether he was attacked as he claimed or not, I don't know. Is he justified in his feelings that they did that to his dad? Maybe so. Maybe so. I don't feel unjustified in my feelings. You know what I mean? So, and I know it's a different situation, but it's the same in a sense because they've done so much fear mongering. They've done so much misinformation, and we're all smart folks here. You guys are all very awake to what's going on with that stuff. After my dad was gone, this is, and I blame them. I blame them. I did my best to wake my family up. My family always trusted what I told them. My dad was right there with me. He knew exactly what was going on. He knew he wasn't going to take that shot in the dark. And thankfully, he didn't have to see my stepmom and my brother take it. Because after he was gone, they decided that they were going to go ahead and get it after my dad was gone. And nothing I could say could sway them. And I told him, I warned him, I gave him a warning, and I said, look, if you do decide to get this, that's your choice. If you do decide to get this, I cannot come see you anymore. And it's not because I don't love you. I still love you. I just cannot come see you anymore. My daughter and I have an immune disease, and I won't risk her. And I want to be here for her, so I'm not going to risk me either. And I let him know that. And my brother called me the day after he got it and said, so sis, why can't you come see me anymore if I get it? And I explained it all to him, and I ran it down to him. And he said, well, I got the first one, and I'm scheduled for the second one. And I was like, well, I love you from way over here then. And it's been almost a month since either one of them have reached out to me. And the last couple of times that we've talked, it was me reaching out to them. So and that was their choice. I can't. Yeah. I'm not going to keep stretching my neck out until it's thin enough that they can cut it with a pair of scissors. I'm not that person. I'll love them over here quietly from where I'm at, and when they need me, I'll be here for them as best I can. But I have to draw those lines to protect my family too. And you know, they were aware that I would draw that line. I don't pull any punches with my family. They know me well enough to know I don't pull any punches. When I say something like that, I mean it. And I very rarely say things like that. So they should have listened, but they didn't. Now they're mad, and I can't do anything about it.
What is Chuck talking about?
It's me, and I'm sorry. He just had said a word, and so I just hid the comment. haven't done anything to any of the other comments. And I'm sorry, Chuck. I didn't mean to offend you. Please forgive me.
What'd he
I
say?
put my phone down. He just threw the F-bomb out there, and it was like,
Oh,
Well,
how come I never saw it? Did someone hide it?
I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
and
okay.
thank you
Well,
all. Thank
wonder
you
I
all.
didn't say
I'm not.
it.
I wasn't trying
Yeah.
to elicit sympathy. I was just saying, people are sometimes justified in their feelings, and you. Here's the thing: you can't tell somebody else what they can feel and not feel. Feelings are healthy so long as you don't let them take over your life, right? And you have to experience the whole thing. You can't have light without dark, or you don't have a comparison. You can't have good times without bad times, or you don't have a comparison. You don't know how good or how bad things can be, So while we really hate the bad stuff and the bad feelings and that, they're necessary. They are necessary because they can lead you to better places if you allow them to. They can lead to healing if you allow them to. And it's still raw for me. I just lost my dad this past December, and it feels like yesterday. But
And I am not offended by people who cuss. I cuss like a sailor. I don't care. I just felt that
we try to keep this kind of clean here, Chuck. So no offense, but our daughter does come home with us sometimes.
Yeah, we gotta watch.
And we do try to let her participate so that she knows what's going on in the world. We're not hiding the reality of our world from her, because she needs to be prepared for that.
She is.
I don't want her to be knocked for a loop too.
Of history, she needs to know our history.
He made the comment that the other channels uses that word. Well, that's other channels. Every channel's different.
and we're all in that mode right now.
Look, you're all welcome here, but we ask that you respect that we try to keep this somewhat clean for the audience, and because we include our child in some of our discussions.
Family friendly.
And if I would have made this a family friendly channel, then you don't get to chat, and that's the other downfall. And you wouldn't get to comment. You don't get comments. You don't get the chat. You don't get nothing. All we can do is just sit here and talk to people.
So I mean,
it's one of those.
If you're easily offended, this might not be the right place for you. But you are always welcome here. No, it's Chuck, but it's cool, Chuck. I mean, we love you, Chuck. We love your chat. You got good stuff, man.
Yep.
I think he left.
Kind of watch the F-bomb. That's all.
And some people are going to be like that, and that's okay. We run into that all the time over there on Liberty, and some of those guys get real worked up, and then if you don't show their chat because that's what you've been asked to do as a moderator, they get worked up at you, and you have to be able to roll with that a little bit.
So gotta let it kind of just roll.
But that's fully on us. Hey, Sherry. That's fully on us. We ask our mods to do a certain thing, and that's what they do. If you want to come at somebody, come at us. Don't come at our mods. They are doing an absolute fantastic job, and we love them all.
Yeah. So that's how we also keep strong too. Us being here, you guys are all in here. We all jump over to another channel, even though it's keeping us tight knit, and that keeps out the other people that are.
And I mean, I want other people to show up and stuff, but if they come over and they're just starting trouble, then you guys have every right to do what needs done. If they are going to come and start trouble,
Tracy's in there.
It's not all right. It is okay to cuss. You guys can do that all you want in your own life, and that's fine. We don't have anything against cussing. You guys have never seen me mad, and hopefully that day will never come. But it's we include our daughter and stuff. She reads the comments. You guys see her when she stops in and pokes her head in, and she's reading what people are writing, and she's saying hi to people that she sees in chat that she recognizes from other stations. And so that's just kind of how we're going to roll. And I'm sorry if people don't agree with that. That's how we're going to roll.
Just being aware. And I think everybody in here understands that. We're not preaching. Just to
You want to
kind of
hear?
get an idea, you know.
You want to hear a dirty joke?
Sure.
Yeah, she's not here.
Little boy jumped in a mud puddle. Want to hear a clean joke?
Sure. You got washed off?
Little boy got washed off afterwards.
With the garden hose. And he lived.
Tell you what, the garden hose hurts on the behind.
Well, not with a spray.
Well, depends if you got a sprayer on it. I mean,
Yeah.
My dad used to grab anything.
That's right. Sometimes we get a
there's
little
my
passionate.
sprayer right there.
And it's all good. I mean, I know, I understand passions can run high. You know, that's the thing.
My dad grabbed
Go ahead.
anything that was near and close to him. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Cattle whips,
My mom did that.
2x4, garden hose, black belt, paddle. It didn't matter.
You better hope when they catch up to you, you're in the right area, right? Like all the soft stuff.
I have literally been. I've literally been beat with the wrong switch on the way back out to get the right switch I should have got the first time.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen. I had that happen.
I've had it happen more than once.
No, see, that's for the little kids. You want the
Bella,
bigger boy one.
Bellstar. I couldn't cook with wooden spoons for years. Look, I still don't wear a belt unless it's for, like the outfit or something. But I still don't wear a belt unless I'm like either I'm carrying my knife or because boy, my mom's favorite thing was go get your grandpa's belt.
Yep. This one too. Switcher or fly swatter. Oh boy, fly swatter's hurt.
I wouldn't use my wooden spoons because I was afraid. Nope.
Break it.
But you remember those paddles with the ball on them? And you bounce the ball. So I tried that. Well, my boys were bigger than me. And so that didn't last no time. And a friend made me a handmade paddle. And but I did it just like the school did it. It depended on how bad the crime was. 1 lick, 2 licks, 3 licks at the most. On the butt.
I remember my brother one time tried to put his school books in his pants so he wouldn't get whooped when we got home because he knew it was coming, right? And my mom saw them books in his pants and she just had a fit. She just told him, "You're going to drop your drawers and bend over there, mister." And he got whooped so bad, I don't think he ever forgot that.
The books don't help, especially when your dad's using a black leather belt.
Yeah, oh boy. Those belts back then were made right.
And it either goes high or low of the books.
Yeah. Oh, man, the way we grew up, our children have grown up quite different, haven't they?
Well, and they even tried to, like, here where I'm at, if somebody gets mad at you, they call CPS instantly, like, or anything, stupid thing, whatever. And, anyway, when they questioned me, they said, "Do you spank your kids?" Because this was right after they had said, "You cannot spank your kids anymore." And I said, "Yes." And I used the paddle and I showed them and they said, "Do you leave marks? Do they bruises or anything like that?" And I said, "Well, no." Look at me. Do I look like I can
right?
Bruise
that much. She's wielding the sledgehammer, guys.
You're dragging it
higher.
Yeah. I think that was all part of the separating the parents.
Yeah.
That you know,
Stuff that were signed in years ago.
separating the parents' authority from the children, and I think
Yep.
they've increased that track, and that worries me a little bit.
To me, it's the
Because
biggest child
that's a hill I'll
trafficking.
die on right there.
Yes.
You know, that right there is one that you stand firm. Hey, RD. Yeah, and that's
you
the
made
thing.
a good point too, RD, up here. Hold on. There was something up here.
Every show I go to, they're talking about
switching to ice water.
Oh, they're talking about cooking again. I'm going to Sherry's house for veggie soup.
It always turns to food.
Well, food is something that always brings people together, right?
Right. Big dinner table and where everybody congregated.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
we're
what-
gonna do some. I think we're gonna do a campfire cooking show for you guys too here real soon. I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. And hey, does anybody know where I can get a nice a nice trivet like for inside my Dutch oven?
A what?
A trivet. You know what I'm talking about?
You know what a trivet is? No, it's not
You want it
paraphernalia.
stone?
Yeah,
Are you
it's
wanting
the
it
thing.
stone?
It's the thing you hang it on to swing it around, right?
No, it's
Piece
the
that goes.
piece that lifts the pot up inside the pan.
Yeah, if you have a pot and you need to put a smaller pot inside the pot, then that's
Oh yeah.
the trivet's a little small. It gives about, like a gap, for it to sit on. So it doesn't burn the bottom of the.
I have to go to one of the local welders around here. They do some blacksmithing. I could probably find one there. I see. Here's the thing about living around
Kind of like
Amishtown.
a cooling plate, yeah. Or a cold plate. Sorry.
It's. They have an entire town or two set up that are tourist towns, and if you live around here, you don't go into those towns until wintertime, or like right. And then you got to watch too, because they have year-round tourism here, because they do a bunch of Christmas stuff, and so we try not to go into the Amish tourist areas.
The heart of it, yeah.
Even though that's where all the really cool stores are, but I can't be around that many people like that. So
during the wintertime is the best time to go, like just after Christmas, and it's like it's just like going into town with just normal people from your area. And then when March hits, it starts getting busy again. So that's about the best time for us to go. But you got to go at those times. But sometimes they're closed because the Amish, they go on vacation to Florida. So you got to kind of know when to get there before the tourist season starts.
See the Amish go to Florida?
What's that?
Did you say the Amish go to Florida?
Yeah, actually, surprisingly enough, they have their own community down there, and I think it's called Pine Grove.
Is it their own version of Disneyland?
Probably.
That's a lot of bike pedaling to operate those.
They
rides.
own their own. Oh, you'd be surprised at what the Amish own. They own vehicles, but they hire other people to drive them.
I know, but that's a lot of bike. That's a lot of bike pedaling to run a Ferris wheel, though.
Right. Yeah, they have their own bus chartering business and everything. They just use their own buses to go down, and then the rest of the year they use them for chartering out throughout the United States. They rent them out. They're very smart people.
No wonder that one show was the Amish Mafia.
Yeah.
They have them, and they call them the elders. No, a lot of them are really good folk. But just like every human being, just like every little group or clique, you're going to have your good ones and you're going to have your bad ones. You just got to know how to ferret them out.
See, okay, I told you all that I traced my 4th or 5th great grandfather
Me too,
McCoy to Ohio. Well, on my mom's dad would be my great, either my great grandfather or great great grandfather. He was a German Quaker Baptist from Pennsylvania.
There's a lot of them here.
Yeah, there is.
This is a heavy German area.
Yeah.
Actually, I have German. I'm German on both sides of my family. A little bit of Irish and a little bit of Native American. And I think I've got a little bit of Amish in me from way back too on my dad's side.
Yeah, I got German, Indian, Black Dutch, a whole bunch.
And yet I've always wanted to go to Scotland. I want to go see Scotland. It's weird. Yeah. Like ever since I was a kid, I've always just wanted to go see Scotland. And it probably has something to do with my name, but when I found out that you couldn't pronounce my name in several languages because they don't have the sound, the complex sound for a TH or for H.
What name is
and
that?
And then I found out that, for Heather. Heather Joe is my name. And it's both Scottish. My dad named me after a Tommy Rose song.
Right on.
My brothers are named out of the Bible, and I'm named after a Tommy Rose song. I'm okay with it, though. I love it. Didn't always, but you know how that goes.
I was the only one out of us boys that wasn't named after a relative.
75 was a good year.
Yeah.
Is Bonnie still with us, or did she drop out?
No, she's still there.
Yeah, she's still up there. I think she just closed her face. I don't know.
But yeah, we just, Sunday afternoon. What do you guys want to talk about? Love you too, Liz.
I'm back.
Oh, relocation. Dun, dun, dun.
Later, Liz.
It was really hot out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already got storms pushing over us, too. Way up here.
It's looking like it's too.
Watched Craig's updated or his update video. I don't know if he's got another one out or not.
I know people are keeping track, though. So
I'm watching the live.
Go ahead.
About an hour or so ago, I'm watching the live stream of the thing down in New Orleans right now.
Oh, okay. We were just watching him before we got on.
Who are you watching?
WX.
CSWX Center and THC. I don't know. It just said it was live streaming. I clicked on it. It's live. Okay. It's been live streaming now for 4 hours.
There's one called, I think, WX Weather or Forecast something. Chasers. WX Chasers.
Reaper was posting a link to something in Jeff Riddell's.
Okay. Yeah.
That gave live.
Yeah, the guy's driving around in his car down by the coast. Or his truck,
and
I
they
should
almost
say.
got their speed signs underwater already down there.
Yeah, their speed limit signs are almost underwater. He put himself in a position so he could get across the bridge to get back across.
Well, I'm just praying for everybody down there and everybody in the path of it.
Paying attention.
I know. Anyone who's affected by it. I'm just hoping we get some rain from it.
Will do, Liz. See you
I hope
tonight,
so.
hon. Good to see you.
Well, we've already gotten rain up here, but I think that was just like leftover little floaty stuff that was getting pushed up by the air currents. We like Ryan Hall, y'all. That guy on YouTube. We watch him for our weather. And then he's been doing lives all day of the hurricane, where it's supposed to hit and when it changed direction and all that good stuff. He does pretty good in depth on the maps, and he chases storms sometimes too. We like him. He does an overall, so we can kind of he does the weather radar, but he also does the convective currents. And that's what I like, because you can see the pressure systems coming through, so I know if I'm going to have a headache or not. Because I get pressure headaches when the pressure system's changed. You know.
Barometric, yes.
Yeah.
You see chat now.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks,
That's good
Sue.
to hear, Sue.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think
Hi,
he's
Michael Gale.
that worried. I think it's going to be more about the rebuilding after for him than the storm. But he doesn't seem too worried, and that's good, because nobody needs to be in a state of fear.
Right.
He's done what he can do, and I think he knows he's good. So I'm going to keep thinking he's good too. Yeah. Yep. RD. I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
He was stressing this morning at 6 o'clock.
Well, yeah. I mean, we caught him over on Jeff Riddle this morning, and he left in good spirits. So, and I'm sure he can reach out and call, any number of people.
He was on Riddle?
Yeah, he was on Riddle
this morning.
Right on.
So he said he'd be giving up. Yeah, he said he'd be giving updates and stuff through the day. So
it sounded like he was the one with anxiety, and the wife was saying, "No, we're staying."
Might have been. Listen now, all those people that are down there that lived through Katrina 16 years ago, that left a mark. That left a trauma for them.
And you think about it, even though you may have that chance of losing everything, it's still the point of losing everything. You worked hard for it.
Yeah.
Yes, and not
still
only
makes
that,
a difference. Even though it's material. Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, and I don't know. I'd probably stay in that situation too. Unless I knew it was just going to wipe everything bare, I would probably stay too, just because of the looters afterwards.
Right on. Just did an update.
Oh, good. We'll have to go check it out after we get off here today.
And his aunts, those are the ones I'd be worried about.
Yeah.
Because he was saying we're right there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I'm an inland girl. I lived on the coast. I don't want to live on the coast. I wouldn't want to. I'm good in Ohio. I'm good.
We're hill people.
We have the occasional tornado, like once every 2 or 3 decades, that turns down the main street of a small town and sets off car alarms. But other than that, we sometimes have flooding. Other than that, we don't really have any major catastrophes happen in Ohio. I like Ohio. Ohio's good.
Every once in a while you get some gale winds. It pushes trees over, and we have our downs, but within a day, we're back up and running, and trees are out of the way, and lines are fixed, and
usually never that something so serious that it causes major death and damage. So, yeah, we love our home state.
Yep, we've been that way for a long time. Usually things get taken care of within a day to a day and a half.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as natural disasters go, I think we're one of the safer states to live in.
We are one of the safer states. Yeah.
probably. We
Yeah,
have
I
a lot
think
of
it,
tornadoes.
yeah, down there. Well, you got all the air current coming up from the Gulf there, and it's just a nice little spread out, meeting that cold air coming down from Canada, and then boom, there you go.
That's what I was gonna say. Oddly enough, they're up above us, like around Abilene. That whole area is like Tornado Alley, and then a town a little further north of me, they get hit. It usually goes around us and hits them. We have hills that kind of protect us from that. If it dips down, then we might get hit, but I'm usually ready to go to a motel when we're under tornado warning. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's it?
I remember we did those tornado drills when we were kids, and you had to run down to the basement and cover your head and all that good stuff. And
Yes, put your
we were
knees
down
up.
there. Yeah, we're down there one year, and had been in the 80s, and we lived in Tuscarawas County, and there was a tornado warning. The sirens were going off, and so my mom ushered us all down into the basement of the house we were in, and the basement started filling up with water. We weren't that far from Tuscarawas River, so which is a pretty big waterway in our area. It flows through a couple counties, and it leads into other bigger tributaries. But yeah, man, I remember that my mom was just like, "All right, upstairs."
Well,
so much
when
for
I was
tornado warning.
when I was in elementary school, we lived in San Antonio, and we used to do those drills. And one time, it was for real, and the doors are glass, windows everywhere, and so we were all down on the bottom floor. It was a 2-story, and had to do that, and glass was flying everywhere. And, we were in the halls, so it wasn't too much glass there, but I was more worried about my mom at home by herself. But it didn't, it just flipped our storage shed in the backyard over. It didn't do anything to the house.
Well, that was good.
That was really
Yeah,
unusual to get a tornado in San Antonio, though.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I think you'll get the sirens up here, but honestly, I think in 45 years, we've seen 2. One in Tuscarawas County down Main Street, and it set off car alarms.
Late 70s, and then we had one
and then we just had one up here last year, and it tore up a couple trees.
3 years ago. Yeah, it's like some barn tops, trees,
and that was it.
Well, and yeah, that's right. And then the one that was just right here, 2 years ago, right there, that around that corner at that fresh market place. Yeah, so, it ripped trees right up out of the ground, carried it right over the guy's house, and landed them in his backyard. And the trees have been there for 35 plus years. And just ripped them right up out of the ground and looked them right over his house. He was just sat there right on the porch. He just came in that quick and said, whoop. And he couldn't even get to a camera fast enough to even show it.
Yeah, I like our odds.
Yeah, but I've seen that happen too.
But it's been 2 years now since we've had anything. So,
where are you at, Monty? What state?
Kansas.
Oh, he's in the real tornado alley. We're all sitting here talking about tornadoes, and he's sitting back laughing. He probably muted his mic so we couldn't hear him rolling on the floor.
No, I'm watching the latest Craig update.
Oh,
okay. How's it going?
Intel, man, Intel.
It's just raining there right now. It's moving the trees a little bit. But
thanks, Monty.
You're
the best.
Yeah, straight line winds can be just as bad as a tornado. We did have one of those through our town, and You could see the whole.
Gasoline. They ran out quick because everybody fled.
Here in Kansas, you can always tell there's been a tornado at least within 20 miles because the whole sky and everything will get like a yellow.
Yep.
It's weird. Is that now? You got a lot of sand and clay and stuff out there in Kansas. I mean, I know there's a lot of farm as well, but
Out western Kansas, where all a bunch of wheat fields are, it's more like that. But Oklahoma has a lot of red clay and stuff.
Well, my question was: is the sky yellow because it's whipping so much stuff into the air?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know they get red skies in Australia. When they get a sandstorm in Australia, the sky turns blood red.
Yep.
I know.
I always wanted to go to Australia. Never made it.
You know, I used to want to go to Australia so bad, and then I learned about all the poisonous snakes living in Australia, which is most of the ones in the world are in Australia. And then I learned about the little spiders that are really deadly in Australia. And I thought, you know, maybe I don't want to go visit Australia after all.
That's only if you're out. That's only if you're out in the bush.
Yeah, but I'm the kind of person that I would want to go visit the bush. I want to go see the Aborigines. I want to see. I want to hear the tales. I want to, like, I'm that kind of person. I like to do that stuff, but I don't want to get bit or anything like that. So
there's not much of the bush left. And the Aborigines, I was talking to Shane and Thompson, and he was talking about how a lot of them's become civilized because they're not teaching the history there either.
I believe it.
Man, they got some stories. Some of those Aboriginal stories that you can get your hands on are amazing. I don't know if you guys have ever looked. I love looking into that kind of stuff. Historical stories, mythologies.
Yeah, I'd like to do a walkabout.
All that stuff, man. I find it so fascinating. And it's like there's this one old Navajo fella on YouTube that I like. And he does these like 5-minute lessons on Navajo teachings. And they're really awesome. We'll have to get his link and post it up or something.
Please do.
Oh yeah, Camo, post your link in here. Camo Carl started his channel. For anybody just showing up, please go check him out. Man is multi-talented and has a wealth of information.
On here now, I think.
Well, he's in, and I'm sure he's got it. Tracy posted it once, so you got him on now.
Camel Carl, yeah, okay.
Right on. And Reaper, if you guys haven't checked out Appalachian Reaper yet, Reaper's pretty cool. You can ask that guy anything about hunting, and he's a walking toolbox.
Plethora of information.
Yeah, I love travel stories. Yeah.
What's that again?
He went on earlier, and I went over there, and I was the only one, and he was
we didn't see him.
He didn't pop up on ours.
But that's going to be my goal. My goal is to make Reaper smile. Have y'all ever seen him smile?
Yes, yeah. He's got a beautiful smile, doesn't he?
He's got a really awesome smile. Yes, he does.
Doesn't
do it very often.
No.
Yeah, we love Reaper. We didn't know he was on this morning, or we'd have popped over.
Which Reaper?
Yeah.
Appalachian Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
There's a lot of Reapers on here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there is.
There's only one Appalachian Reaper. I'm fascinated with the Appalachian people, the original Appalachian settlers. I'm fascinated with the stories that come out of the mountains. That's another thing. It's so overlooked, but the history of music in the mountain folk, the history of cooking and building and surviving and just all the stuff, man. I love that stuff.
In the southern hills of Appalachia is the original origin of
Fine Apps channel posted for Tracy DeGrasse.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
in the southern Appalachian. That's where the origin of country music came from.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the Carter family, a whole bunch of them. It's
Hey,
pretty
you're
cool.
a McCoy. You probably have a pretty good working knowledge of some of those Appalachian tales, being a McCoy.
Well, my aunt did a
Somewhat.
DNA test, and it said that her
There you go,
ancestors
Tracy.
came from the western edge of North Carolina. So, and it's right down into the Appalachian, very end of it, right there.
Mm-hmm. From the lowlands.
All right, we'll have to take a look at that, Betty. Thank you.
I thought you were going to say did a DNA test and found out I was really a McCoy, a Hatfield. I'm just kidding.
No,
Just picking on you.
I have come across some Hatfields though.
Yeah. Yeah, mountain language. Yeah, I mean, man, that stuff is fascinating. So when Raina was little, I always talk about all the books I find at the thrift stores and stuff. Well, we found an Inuit story for kids, and it's called Little Inungwak, and it's about Inuit Indians and their life, and it's a story about this little boy who grows up to actually lead the tribe, and they thought that he was a dreamer because he always listened to his grandpa's stories. But those stories ended up saving the tribe who had lost their way because they had lost their stories. Does that sound familiar to anybody about the times we're living in now, right? People have lost their faith. And that was one of her favorite books. And then The Gift of the Dog is it's either Navajo or Cherokee, and it's a story about the horse. It's a story about horses and how the horses came. Yeah, it's Navajo, I believe. How the horses were a gift from the Allfather to them, and they call it the gift of the dog. They called it the dog, and it's a horse.
Have you ever heard of Clan of the Cave
Yep.
Bear? My grandmother made me read the whole thing.
And I have all the rest of them. I'm missing that one from my collection, but I have read that one. Matter of fact, Bonnie, it's so funny you brought that up because I was just thinking of that book yesterday for some reason. The Clan of the Cave Bear yesterday. I was just thinking of that story yesterday.
A lot of the horses came from the Spanish conquistadors whenever they invaded down in South America and Mexico and stuff.
Yeah. All right, Sue, have a great day.
Have a good one, Sue.
Will the Pintos be native here, aren't they? And the
I think
Mustangs?
so. And the Mustangs. Yeah, they're native to North America. Palominos, I believe, are as well, aren't they? Yeah, I think those were I think they just came from different areas, but yeah, I think those are all native breeds to North America.
You got to remember though, the Spanish conquistadors landed shortly after Christopher Columbus, so that's quite a few hundred years for them to make their way up into North America.
But let's not forget that people landed here before Christopher Columbus.
Yeah,
Vikings.
Right. So they brought horses as well. Vikings actually had horses as well.
Yeah.
And those were like more of the draft horses we see today, because they were these war horses that they would bring with them. Yeah. Horses are fascinating. They're fascinating too. The way people can bond with a horse, is the same way that people can bond with their dog or their cat. And it's just so amazing how once you've bonded with one of those animals, they'll never forget. They never forget. And they live at least half as long as we do. Oh. So
yeah, I've seen one 30 years old. My youngest daughter is autistic, and but I've always been in horses, and so they were on horses when they were like 2 or 3 years old, and the youngest one that's autistic, she was, I mean, it was her passion. It was like, and she was a whole different person when she was around horses, and it's like they could sense that. It was just, it was amazing to watch the bond with
That's
any horse,
beautiful. Yeah,
anyone that.
I'm a firm believer that our autistic people are more advanced than we are, and cannot communicate at our low level. Uh, I just think that is I think they're phenomenal because they have access to parts of their brain that we may never see, right?
Yep.
And it's like so incredible to me to see. Um, I love meeting autistic people, and we have a lot of friends around here, and Raina loves it too. The one lady that volunteers at our little local library, she works with dependent adult people, you know, all different kinds, but like autistic or socially challenged and stuff. And every week she has a couple that she works with, and she brings them into the library with her. And so they've learned how to interact with other people. And the one boy is I call him a boy because he's 26, and I have a son older than him. So I can call him a boy. I'm not disrespecting him, but he's autistic and he can't communicate with words. But he does. He has like it's like a vibratory scream in the back of his throat, and he does certain claps for certain things. Raina picked up on his pattern right away, and when she met him, she was like 7 when she met him, and she picked up on his pattern right away. Made fast friends with him, and they were back playing. It was cool. And she
That's
was just
good.
like, "Mom, we gotta go see them some more," you know. So uh, it's just with kids. Kids are open, you know, until you close them up. They're open
And
and
that's one thing I learned.
beautiful.
An autistic child, it's it's um it's very hard for them to lie. They just, so my other kids really hated that. He was the youngest, and she'd see what was going on, and she wasn't verbal until probably about 7 years old, and but even before then, I knew when something was going on. But it
Yeah,
takes, she uh, she was just a gift to me, because it is you have to change everything you do, from the teaching to the discipline. um Discipline for her was, I had to take her favorite thing and go put it in the storage and lock it up, and once she did what she was supposed to do, she'd get it back, and it worked. But it- and
that's really
patience, you
yeah.
have to have patience of a saint.
My
Because
older
it
brother
can.
has a mental disability, so I grew up knowing all his friends at his school because he went to the special school, and
Yeah.
um, and I grew up with that. So it was never like it was never that they weren't people to me. They were always people, and they you just had to learn how to. It was like talking a different language, and I always found that fascinating.
Yep.
So that's just how it
Yes.
worked in my life, you know. And I was really proud with Raina that we were able to pass that on to her, you know. Um,
Yes. Compassion. And
yeah,
there was not a lot of that here, and that's why I had to take the girls to a school that was about 40 miles away, and but it was worth it. For 3 years, I drove back and forth 2 times a day, and I didn't care.
wow, yeah.
He
Well, it's worth it when
blossomed.
you get. Yeah, it's worth it when you see that child blossom. Exactly.
Yes,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's where it was a charter school, and they were very into arts and music and things like that. And so she just fell right in. Whenever I called them, the first thing the director said, "We encourage different," and I said, "I'm coming to the open house."
Right
That's
on.
all she had to tell me. We encourage different because everyone is different.
Exactly. Yeah.
Most of the schools just treat them like they're robots, like they're all supposed to learn the exact same thing at the exact same time, and
Right. Punch your time clock. Punch the time clock. Right. Be a
right.
good little citizen and punch the time clock. That's what
Yes.
they want. More
And
robots for their machine.
my daughter that was born in the same year as her, she was a grade above her. She was all in honors classes, and it was totally different, but she then graduated from that other school also.
Right.
She
That's
was ready to
cool.
get out of that
That is
mold.
cool. Yeah, exactly. And that's, it's up to us as parents to help our children to grow beyond the mold that the world wants to put them in, and to be the best that they can be. Um, and I think we all have to do that according to the children, because just like you just said, they're all different, and the only way to encourage them is to do it on a one-on-one basis with them, and recognize each of them as their own person. Aziza Quasar, shout out. Why did I shout you out? Welcome, Aziza. Yes, you can have a shout out.
I'm gonna drop out for a bit. It's good
All
talking
right,
to y'all.
Monty.
I'll
Thank
let y'all
you.
later. Yep.
Take care,
Thanks for
Monty.
coming up, man.
Later.
We'll catch you
See
around.
you later. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, autistic children, I think, are especially amazing because, again, they have access to parts of their brain that we don't, right? And for anybody that ever thought about looking down on somebody who's autistic, man, they're smarter than you are. I guarantee it.
Hey,
And I don't
shipwreck.
mean that in any way. Hey, shipwreck. But yeah, I've never met an autistic person who wasn't brilliant. Hey, Shep. And you just got to figure out how they communicate it.
Yeah. Wasn't
Uh,
it Einstein that was autistic
Was it
I
Einstein?
think
that invented the light bulb? Or
Or was it
was
I thought
Bell?
it was
Was it Graham Bell? Alexander Graham Bell?
no.
Was
I
it
thought
Einstein?
I thought it was the what's his name, Mozart, wasn't he?
No, Mozart was deaf. Mozart was deaf.
Okay, Mozart was dead. All right, autistic.
Picture that, right?
right?
Wow.
Then it may have been. You know what? It may have been.
I know there's several famous people that
Or look at
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking,
were geniuses.
right? Look at Stephen Hawking. People are still calling that man crazy. He wasn't crazy.
Okay, educate me. Who is that?
Stephen Hawking
Oh my
came up with the
goodness.
theories for the black holes.
Huh.
He was in a wheelchair. He was paraplegic, and he had what's the heck's it called? Somebody help us out.
Cerebral palsy?
Yeah,
Something like
but he had to who Zach is on Patriot Brothers.
yes.
Okay, he talked like Zach did with the text to speech thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's smart as anything, just like Zach. I mean, like, you know how smart Zach is.
Yes. And
Oh,
boy, when
yeah.
he speaks, it's like, listen.
Yeah. So, yeah, Stephen Hawking's. Well, yeah, very scary, some of the stuff that he came out with and talked about and stuff. But let's see. English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author.
There you go. I'll put it in the.
It may have been some kind of a cerebral palsy. That, yeah, I don't know. I know he was paraplegic, and I know he had to talk with the.
There, it's in chat. I posted link in chat.
I had a sister-in-law that she had cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And but she
But
would laugh.
very, very smart. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the content of his intelligence, you guys. Just so you know, I don't agree with everything that Stephen Hawking came out with, but the man was brilliant, and I'll give him those props. He was brilliant. Lou Gehrig's, thank you. Thank you very much, Benjamin.
Yeah, I understand on some of the stuff. Like we said just a second ago, hey, you know, some of this stuff is going to be true. Some of this stuff, who knows?
Listen, I don't agree
it's all
with what
just theories. I mean,
I don't, and you guys may not like the way I say this, but Hitler did terrible, terrible things, and guess what? He was brilliant too. How do you think he got people to do those things?
My daughter was telling me, she said, do you know how quick he was able to do that? And
look
said,
at how quick what they've done to us.
And that's what she was referring to. And I said, okay, is it time for us to get out? What do we need to do? Because I keep asking.
Yep. That's why I always say, you know, don't wear the star or don't get on the train, you guys.
Yeah.
No matter what, don't get on the train. You know, no matter what, don't wear the star. Don't let them. Right? We look back at those people and we say, why didn't anybody say anything? Why didn't anybody do anything? And and the fact of the matter is, he was smarter than they were, and he fooled them all. They were already indoctrinated to believe in whatever was handed out to them. And we cannot be those people. We cannot accept that, you know. And I know, like, Deanna, our sister Deanna, she's out there every day. She goes out, I think, just about and educates people on the stuff that's going on, you know.
You in general, but I mean, it's
and she goes out on her street and does it.
And a little bit from you just going to a grocery store that somebody's saying, hey, this don't seem right, and you're like, hey, dude, what did you hear about this? You know, just those little tidbits.
Sometimes it's when people get disgusted and distanced from trying to wake people up, I tell them maybe change their approach, right? Because you're not going to wake up anybody that doesn't want to wake up. You're not going to get an addict to stop doing drugs if they don't want to stop for themselves. It's not going to work, and I don't care how much effort you put into it.
Yeah.
Until they want that for themselves, they're not going to do it. So here's my take on it, and that is make them want it for themselves. Ask questions to get their critical thinking working, right? Make them ask themselves those questions. Well, if that's how that's supposed to work, then why is it that, you know, just get their critical skills working? And some people are going to refuse to do even that. And at that point, you have to say, okay, have a great day, and walk away from them, you know? Hey, Paul. Good to
Well,
see
and
you.
that's the way it started. And I don't know how they would get the groups of people together. So I avoid crowds. I don't go into the stores. But
Yeah,
the
well,
girls,
Right.
they employed programs that encouraged people to tell on their neighbors. Does that sound familiar?
yes. And
Yeah.
that's what I was telling my daughter too. I said they're going to make it to where people who we've thought were friends and close people are going to start saying, well, I know that they're not vaccinated.
Yep, yep.
And I was like, we have to,
You're absolutely right.
but they would take one family member and execute them right there in front of the family is how they got control of them. Because once you see that,
Yeah. Yeah.
people don't realize that's not just something you can see and walk away from.
And
Right,
this is
exactly.
where it's bothersome that these people aren't paying attention. This is history repeating itself literally before our eyes. Now, whether or not that entire thing was a hoax doesn't even matter. The perception of it matters, right?
Right.
And not that it doesn't matter. It of course it matters. Okay, any lives lost matters. So don't get me wrong there, guys. But what I'm saying is, you can argue the point with me until you're blue in the face about whether it was a hoax, a hoax, or a Holocaust. And I'm still going to point out to you that it is the perception of the public that if you bring this to them in this manner, it may get them to see something that they didn't see before. Tell them to watch Schindler's List. Tell them to watch The Way Back Home.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, give them some of the names of those movies that we had to watch in history class.
Bridge over River Kwai.
The Boy in Striped Pajamas. I think that's even on Netflix for people who still have it. We dropped Netflix after the Cuties debacle. We won't support them.
There's another one that is kind of new. It's called Freedom Riders.
Is that
Have you
one
heard
as
of
well?
that?
No,
Yes.
I hadn't heard of that one.
It's a teacher that gets a classroom full of kids that are in gangs. And so, of course, they make fun of her. She's all prim and proper, but she teaches them about the Holocaust and takes them to that. And they had, is Anne Frank? Who is the survivor?
Anne Frank was one of the survivors. The Diary of Anne Frank is well known. She survived.
Her.
Somebody hid her and her family in their attic.
I think it was her, and they flew her to that school so the kids could meet her. It was really amazing.
Yeah.
It was a very good movie.
Yeah. That's
Freedom
cool.
Riders.
Freedom Riders.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, any of those, and get people to watch them and get people to ask those questions. Well, why didn't they say anything? Why didn't they do anything? Oh my God, I wouldn't want to be one of those people telling on other people. And then we didn't know that was going to happen. Well, guess what, you guys? This is the same story playing out again.
It's happening.
Maybe it's them having to do everything twice type of deal. I don't know, but yeah, Wounded Knee. Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't want to read 1984. I've heard a lot about it.
In North Carolina, girl.
And the only reason I say that is because I live in books. When I read books, I actually live like almost all the characters in that book.
Yes.
As I'm reading it, I get really into it. I don't like to be interrupted. I'm very bad.
It's my escape. It is. You go into that world.
Yep.
I totally get it.
Oh, we are, Paul. We are praying for Craig the Hunter. We sure are.
Yep.
We've been getting updates.
You're absolutely right, North Carolina girl.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not trying to scold anybody or anything like that. I'm not trying to get anybody to think the way I.
Boom.
Oh.
Boom.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you for that. But still agree.
and I mean, that's what we're about here. If you got a channel, put it up there, pop it up there. Let us know where you're at. We're all about supporting you guys.
Wow, Betty. Yeah.
Wow, Betty.
Put it up there. We'll grab it. Do whatever. And
Pop it up.
promote you.
Yeah. So, and I know I have a different way of thinking of stuff, and sometimes people like it, and sometimes people don't, and it's okay with me either way.
The only thing we ask is just think. Just think about what we say.
You know,
it doesn't mean we're right or wrong.
Get your gears going, right?
Get the brain thinking.
So
search history.
So that's my way of educating people. When I talk to people, I ask more questions than I tell information. And well, what do you think? Did you hear about? Yeah, because if you're asking the questions, they're putting it in a position. You're putting somebody into a position of perceived authority, right? Because they think that you think that they know the answer. So it's how you talk to people. It really is. So if you're trying to wake somebody up and you ask them, well, what do you think about that study that was done on graphene oxide and nanotubes back in 2016? Did you guys ever see that? How that reacts? I mean, it was so neat. But I heard that those were two of the ingredients in some of these things, and I just wondered if you'd heard about that.
Yeah.
And they're either going to play along or they're going to go do some research, and it's going to be on their mind all day. And it's about how you word it.
Little bug them.
So, and on any of this stuff, just like, they've lied to us about so many things. At this point, I disregard everything until I can dig, and then I still have to disregard it until I can find something that resonates with me. Because history is somebody else's story, right? It was whoever was left to tell it.
Right.
If you, and here's the thing, like, another thing I love about that 18th century cooking channel, that Jace Townsend and Son, is he reads soldiers' diaries from like the Civil War. He reads in the old cookbooks where they make notations and stuff, and you learn a lot about how life really was versus how it's been portrayed to be.
Right.
Because they're personal accounts. And right? Knowledge seeds. I love it.
Yeah.
But
if you're able to hang on to stories from generations ago, that is awesome. And that's what we should be doing, is journaling each thing that's happening so future generations can see when if everything gets straightened out and we all make it through this,
we'll make it through.
How it can happen and what to watch.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Even if they call it a hoax, what happened back then, it doesn't matter. The perception of it is that it happened. And you can use that to your advantage because it's what is trying to repeat itself in history. They're going about it the same way. Replace right? Replace this with the star, with that yellow star. Replace the trains with these quarantine camps. This stuff is happening, and people aren't really seeing it for what it is, and whether you think it was a hoax or whether you believe it was real doesn't even matter if you can use it as a tool to make people critically think.
Yep.
In my opinion, it does matter. I do believe lives were lost. I do believe there were some very heinous atrocities committed to the human race in those times. The experiments and stuff that they did on twins, for example, and soldiers, and there's a lot of stuff out there that they tell you about that you don't even know they're telling you about.
Yeah.
The super soldier experiments have been going on for decades, for centuries.
Always to make the best.
I'm gonna get. I would say there has always been a super soldier program as long as there has been wars, all the way back to even Troy and V4. Make sense, right? Because every one of those places would be looking for a way to make somebody stronger, so that one man would equal 10, and they could send less people. I mean,
more damage.
Yeah, and do more damage. Bizarre world, yeah, for real. Back to
stuff that we did learn in history isn't too far fetched, and it's even worse in some aspects. But we weren't.
I think RD, or Betty, The Stand. Are you talking about Stephen King's The Stand? Because I've noticed some remarkable similarities there as well, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that to some extent, North Carolina girl. I do. All we can do, instead of being brought down by that, instead of that, yeah, that was a great book. Oh my gosh. I read the unabridged version straight through. I turned myself into an insomniac for like almost 2 weeks in my teens to read the unabridged version of The Stand. That movie ain't got nothing on it, and it's a 5-hour movie, and it still ain't got nothing on the book. That book is phenomenal. Stephen King, he's another one of those well ahead of his time.
I don't read any of Stephen King.
That one is not your typical. It's not a horror book as far as horror books. The Stand is a completely different thing. It is a biological virus that's let out of a military base.
Oh, okay.
And it takes out everybody. And Betty, get this. Everybody gets the sniffles and thinks it's a cold. The hospitals are overrun. People are dying in their cars in the street. Eventually, there are a few people left that are just immune to it and don't get sick and die from it. But everybody's dying from this cold. And then it ends up that half the people who are left are getting visions of the dark man, and the other half are getting visions of this little old woman in a cornfield who is a representative of God. And so the sides get completely and clearly set for good versus evil. And there is a handful of main characters, literally 2 handfuls of main characters, that take the walk to the wild side in order to take down the evil and save what's left of humanity in the United States. It's all set in the United States, but it's from coast to coast, and it's very well written. And I've thought about that too. I've thought about we're kind of living in The Stand. Only I think they wanted it to be much worse than it was. I think they wanted it to be that level. And we can't even rule out that they won't put something that level out there just because.
Right. That's each thing is totally different. And how do they already have them all named? It's like,
they already have they've had patents for them since look, all the patents for that stuff started being applied for in 2000. And then Stu Redman. Who didn't love Stu, that. Right? And Tom Daly.
Tom Daly.
MOON.
I saw the guy with the patents that was telling when it started. And I was like,
wow. So, I mean, again, they've lied to us about so much. Look, I'm going to keep my faith where it belongs. And I really don't have any fear. I have no sense of fear for anything that's coming. I just, I'm ready. I'm ready to get on with the building of the good stuff. I'm ready to get on with moving forward. And right on, RD.
That's why my question keeps being, where is our military? And
they're human too, and that's all I'll
yes,
say. They're human
it,
too, and I think it may come down to them having to make an individual
certain
decision. And
because they
I
have
think so
their
too.
so we don't know where that's going to lead.
Little bitty steps, exactly. Now let's see what they do, because it's going to require it's going to require everybody, regardless of
Yeah.
which way you look at it.
Yeah,
It's biblical.
Oh.
It's what it is.
And at this point, with the people that have already gotten the jabberdoos, I mean, all you can do is just
we're living
send them love. You know, I mean, don't stop loving them, but
No.
Exactly right, North Carolina.
Make your peace, right? Make your peace just in case. And if your heart's at peace, you can't do anything for where their heart's at. You can only do for where your heart's at. And that's what you can do, you know.
That's what my daughter-in-law's just got. And now my son has hoof. And I'm like,
it's not stopping anything. It's spreading it.
Yeah.
It is the weapon. The original wasn't. The original was a scare tactic to get you to sign up for the. And that's what they're hurting people with, and they're hurting other people with it too. So, but I still don't have any fear about that. I don't have fear in the sense of being anxious or stressed or worked up about it. I cannot do anything about their free choices and their free will. Right. All I can do is about mine, right? And try to take care of my family as best I can. And I'll be here for anybody that needs it. If it comes down to you forced to get on a train, head to Ohio and find us.
In some valley somewhere.
Right. I mean, you can set up something on the property, and at least you'll have a place, and then you can, you know. Honestly, I've always felt like if something were to go down, I would put out some kind of a marker to let Patriot forces know, safe place, you know, restock, heal up, whatever we can do, you know, and then move along. I imagine at this point it's as simple as putting out an American flag.
Yep.
Sad as that is to say, right?
I'm in a subdivision, and I'm the only one with a flag in the whole subdivision.
Wow.
Oh,
it's something. It's something how our country has taken a turn, hasn't it?
Yes.
You got yellow ribbon out on your porch yet?
No, I was going to ask you. I don't know where to get it, because I'm afraid to use fabric because it'll just deteriorate. So it needs to be plastic.
You got any yellow plastic like food bags from the Dollar General or anything? You know, they have those bright yellow plastic bags. I was gonna say you could put them together and make a yellow bow.
You can make you can make strips out of them too.
Hey, have you ever heard of Flarn?
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to work for a volunteer group, and we would turn the plastic bags into mats for the homeless, like sleeping mats.
Yes. When I worked at the library, that's when I found out about it. And I made a hat. I made a pair of sandals. It's amazing what you can make out of it.
You just have to be creative, yeah. And and just think outside the box with stuff.
Yep.
You're right, Betty. I try not to say "I told you so" to people. That it is cruel. But
Thank you, conservative cowboy.
because that's an ego feeder, right? That's just something you say to feed your own ego. So I try not to do those "I told you so's." Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, you guys. Get those yellow ribbons. You know, you can buy caution tape at Walmart and turn it backwards and use the yellow side of it. You can do that too.
Yeah.
You know, you can. There's all kinds of things you could do.
I think we're going to Home Depot tomorrow, and I'm going to check and see if they have. I think that they do. Seems
Awesome.
like I've seen something like that there.
Yeah, and you can pick up a roll of that caution tape really cheap. Usually, I'm sure they've got something because it's Home Depot, right? They've got contractors and whatnot that come there.
Look for.
Purple for the ones lost.
Here's another one that you can look for too. If you can't find the ribbon, tell them you have a property line and a stake, and you need to tie a yellow plastic tie around it, and you want to know where you can find that at. And you might take you to somewhere that maybe has yellow. No, actually, I have probably different colors.
Orange and blue and pink.
Yeah,
and
orange,
yellow.
blue,
I think are
pink,
the main colors.
Yeah.
And red for tie downs on the back of a truck.
That's another tie ribbon that they use, and they're usually about this long. Well,
yeah.
sorry.
Well, it does up here
I'd say
too,
about
North
a foot
Carolina.
and a half long. They're about a foot and a half long. And it's just to tie on the property stake on the corner of your property.
T96. I don't have any idea what that means. Are you talking about Sleepy Man in the in the pilot seat, Joe? That one?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that who T's talking about? Sleepy Joe?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
How disrespectful! And the Soldiers Memorial. That man has no couth whatsoever. There you go, Betty. Wow, that man has no couth. None.
Oh, that's right. Yellow is for them, waiting
Yeah,
for them to come.
Yep, until they all come home. Hey, Ship. Yeah, but I think it was Bridget that made that suggestion the other day, and I loved it. And so I even went on Liberty Warrior the other night and put it out there. I think they didn't know what to do with me. I just kind of said my piece and left.
Yeah, now look what it's grown into.
I love Mike, though. I do, but I try because he knows I'm a talker, and I'll get to talking, and then he's like, well, I've got to get on to the next caller, and then I feel bad, and I don't like to feel bad, so I didn't let him get 2 words in until I was done. Bless his heart, he puts up with me.
Hey, we're all trying to do our thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
the callers. That takes a lot of nerve to call in.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yep.
Hey, Red Dog. Yeah, we can pop the link back up there. We're probably going to be getting off here for too long, guys.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was after 4 already.
About 10 more minutes, or about 9 more minutes or so.
Bonnie,
it's about time for me to take
how
a
do you
nap.
feel about that question I asked you last night? And I won't put you on the spot by asking it again on air until you say yes or no. Conservative cowboy, I agree. And how you doing today, sir?
I'll try it. I'll just be off camera.
That's fine. It does make a difference. It really does. And we love you and we appreciate you so much.
Love y'all too. Thank you. So you want me to do that now?
Would you mind? Would you mind, or do you want to wait a little bit? It's up to you.
No, I'll go ahead and do it now. And turn off my camera.
All right.
All right. I don't know if chat's ready for this.
They're
All right,
ready.
everybody.
Okay.
Listen.
I'm weeping for my country as I stand and watch her fall, for all those that have fought for her and those that gave all. I hear our allies around the world praying for us to pull through. We are their light in the darkness with our freedom in the red, white, and blue. We, the people, are on our knees praying for God to help us to the end. For the future generations, we need to stand and defend. Our government has forgotten what they were chosen to do. Their greed for power and money affects all, even you. It is time for the eagle to fly, and the lion let out his roar. To fly your flag proudly and pledge allegiance to it once more. Let your voices be heard for the land of the free, every town, every state, from sea to shining sea.
Bravo.
Awesome.
I love it.
That was good.
I love it, Bonnie.
It was very nice.
Thank
I hope that you will get on Liberty and read that tonight. If you feel so inclined. Because I feel that is very powerful.
Yeah.
I just felt that. It was just I felt that all over. That was good stuff right there, Bonnie. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I was just doodling and and
Sometimes that's when the best stuff
I
comes
was gonna
out.
say that's when the best comes out.
it's my feelings. And I know it sounds kind of elementary, but
Not at all, honey. Not at all. That was wonderful.
No, that's what we got to get back to.
That was wonderful.
thank
They
you.
try to push that out of us. They've done a good job at doing that.
Right. Well, I am going to jump off of here. Thank y'all so much for
Alrighty.
having me.
Once again, thank you.
Yeah, and
Love
thank you
y'all.
for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Have a great afternoon.
We love
evening.
you.
Thank you.
And
Love
we
you.
will
See
see
you on
you guys
Liberty.
all tonight over on
Oh, yeah.
Liberty. And Jeff, if he has an afternoon. Well, he might already be on. I don't know.
He might be.
That's
Might
right.
be
That's
true,
an
yeah.
American.
We're gonna go check out Craig real quick. Watch his, and then I don't know.
That's right, North Carolina girl. All right. Well, we're gonna get off here too, y'all. And you have a lovely rest of your day, and we will hopefully see everyone tonight. And love and light to all.
Love and light. Bye.
There you go.